Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a deadly duo in love that loves reacting to some death battle.
Yeah, death battle.
Yeah, and so we're checking out today Sora versus Pit, Kingdom Hearts versus Kid Icarus. We played Kingdom Hearts. There's the numbered ones, 1, 2, and 3. Really love. The first one's one of my favorite games of all time. We record these in advance. So by the time when we're recording this one, we just heard the news that Rooster Teeth was shut down, and that shows like Death Battle and Ruby, shows that we follow and love, they're in jeopardy of maybe never coming back. So that's really sad to hear.
Yeah.
We hope that somebody picks up Death Battle, or that it's some way it's able to continue. Same with the Ruby. So that's that's all I got.
If the fate of the universe is at stake, the last person you should trust to save it is a naive teenager with magical weapons they don't understand. But everybody does it anyway.
Like Sora, the Keyblade-wielding savior of Kingdom Hearts.
And Pit, the angel warrior from Kid Icarus.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Once upon a time, there was a small child full of promise named Sora.
And he lived on the one and only Destiny Island. Sora and his friends Riku and Kairi grew up honing their athletic skills by playing sports with Final Fantasy characters who don't judge Sora's fashion choices. Wait a minute, what the hell are Final Fantasy characters doing there?
A hint of things to come. For the longest time, the residents of Destiny Island lived a peaceful life, but it wasn't long until a soulless embodiment of evil would invade the island. This was the Heartless.
But the arrival of these creepy crawlers wasn't the only surprise. Alongside the darkness came light in the form of a Keyblade, which is the key to fixing everything. Super subtle.
This key in particular was known as the Kingdom Key, and was drawn to Sora thanks to his pure heart. With the Kingdom Key, Sora had the means to combat the Heartless.
By unlocking doors?
Well, yes, the Keyblade can get past almost any lock out there, but despite not having a long, sharp edge, it's a surprisingly deadly sword.
It's a key, it's a sword, and it's also a wand. Sora can use it to cast all sorts of magic spells like a wizard. He can even shoot a laser beam all the way to the moon.
Unfortunately, despite his newfound weapon, the Heartless were overwhelming. The darkness washed over Destiny Island, and just like that, it was gone.
But thanks to cosmic reasons, Sora wound up face to face with Goofy and Donald Duck. Yep, he ended up in the most magical place on Earth, Disney.
If you're confused, don't worry. You are not hallucinating. Somehow, in some way, this impossibility exists. Turns out, while Goofy and Donald have been lovable cartoons for decades, they're also world-hopping warriors.
Oh my god, this is the best thing ever!
From then on,
Sora
Sora teamed up with his new friends to lock the doors to the Hearts of Worlds, saving them from the Heartless grip.
And he wasn't even old enough to get a driver's license.
While Sora may not have been strong enough to save Destiny Island, he quickly learned an enormous amount of talents perfect for beating back the darkness.
Including some genuine ass-kicking magic, like shooting fireballs, freezing
Oh,
baddies with
like
blizzards,
thunder.
smiting with lightning, and more.
He can reflect projectiles, manipulate time, magnetize objects, and even alter gravity.
He's got a bunch of other magic attacks, but my favorite is Ragnarok, which fires a bunch of homing energy beams. And I guess he's got some magic abilities that don't involve beating monsters up, which I think is pretty lame, but Wiz insists we talk about it.
Thanks to the Kingdom Key sword, he can use spells which remove negative effects, including curing his own wounds. He can also glide like Peter Pan and teleport like Figment.
Still don't know if we should call it a sword, but Sora can make it even better with keychains. They can even transform the whole Keyblade into more powerful versions with way more badass names, like Oathkeeper.
With all these abilities, Sora battled the Heartless and took the fight to the man who discovered them, Xanort. He even defeated Xanort's Heartless and his Nobody.
Oh, that's kind of harsh, Wiz. Why are you calling him a nobody? He's definitely somebody.
No, see, a Nobody is a somebody without a heart, but a Heartless isn't a somebody or a nobody, though they may have been a somebody filled with anger, like Scar from The Lion King.
Well, I'm a somebody that's really, really confused.
But to save all worlds, Sora found he had to be insanely strong, fast, and tough.
He's speedy enough to run up a building and quick enough to dodge magic lightning.
Not just magic lightning, real legitimate lightning from the sky, a feat which could only take mere milliseconds.
Sora put all that speed to good use once by perfectly blocking hundreds of lasers from damn near every angle in just a few seconds. So it's safe to say he's no slouch.
As for his strength, not only has he cut through giant building-like structures with ease, he's launched them as projectiles. Though gravity is in flux here, a building this size normally weighs around 100,000 pounds.
He's held back 2 of Cerberus's heads and went toe-to-toe with Hercules. You know, the demigod who threw a giant rock monster into space?
Although this Titan's shape is too inconsistent to scale, by treating him as a series of cones
back,
made of
he said
granite,
earlier.
we can estimate his weight as over 1,600 tons.
That's like throwing 200 T-Rexes into the sky. So yeah, Herc is really, really strong, and Sora can take a hit from him, no problem.
Honestly, Sora's ability to take a hit might be one of his strongest characteristics. He's survived the jaws of Cerberus, ancient Chinese dragons, being shot by a musket, and, hell, the fires of Hades.
But he isn't without his downfalls. While he's strong in his own right, he relies a lot on his friends. Like, all the goddamn time.
He can't even enter his fancy drive forms, which boost his power and give him an extra Keyblade, without help from Goofy and Donald. So in a broad scope, he's fairly limited on his own.
No big deal, though. Luckily for Sora, most locks only need 1 key.
I'm not sure if that was profound or just stupid.
You're stupid.
The heart may be weak, and sometimes it may even give in. But I've learned that deep down there's a light that never goes out.
Well said, Sora.
Let us return to the distant past, to an age long ago, when gods and man lived together in harmony.
How long ago was this?
25 years ago.
What?
Anyway, the kingdom of Angel Land was ruled by 2 goddesses, Palutena, the goddess of light, and Medusa, the goddess of darkness.
Who pretty much treated everyone like crap by turning people into statues and destroying their crops. Oh, my
That's a little dramatic.
What'd you expect from a being who holds the title Goddess of Darkness? She's just doing her job.
Angered by these misdeeds, Palutena transformed Medusa into an ugly, one-eyed, parcel-tongued monster and banished her to the dark underworld.
Talk about throwing shade. Long story short, Medusa waged war with Palutena, who summoned the greatest hero Angel Land has ever known. Hit.
My arrows will stop that Apricus Maximus.
No, definitely not that one. This one.
Hang on. Greatest hero ever? More like his mom needs to drop him off at elementary school.
Don't let looks fool you. Pit may seem young, but he is the captain of the Icarus army, keepers of the peace and personal guards to Lady Palutena herself.
Wait, you're telling me this Cupid-looking kid is the captain of an army? Well, at least he can fly with those wings. All right, that's pretty cool.
Actually, he can't.
What? Look, he's flying right there.
Well, Pit may have superhuman abilities, but he can't actually fly on his own. Thankfully, Palutena regularly grants him mystic wings, which do allow flight, though they can
When he's
only
eating ice cream
exist
off the
for
floor,
up
gives
to
you help.
5 minutes. After that, they burst into flame, sending Pit careening to a horrible end.
Holy shit. So the captain of an angel army doesn't have his own working angel wings. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's a little strange, but don't try to bring it up. He's a bit touchy on the subject.
Anyway, Pit managed to defeat Medusa, and everyone lived happily ever after. Just kidding, Medusa came back 25 years later, looking better than ever, by the way. And this time, Hades came along to mess things up too.
As captain of
That's
the
a cool
Icarus
looking
army,
Hades.
Pit has
Right.
some extensive training under his belt. How else would all these soldiers save Palutena from a sudden invasion of vegetables?
Right. But what's a soldier without his weapons? Pitt's got a huge arsenal of weaponry.
He is well known for his archery skills and shows it off with his trusty weapon of choice, the Palutena bow.
This bow uses awesome laser arrows that can actually be guided by Pitt. And if his enemies get close, Pitt can split the bow into 2 short blades for quick, deadly slices. Now that's a practical weapon.
He is highly skilled with several classes of weapons. His arsenal has been imbued with the strength and power of the gods, making humans incapable of wielding them.
These range from orbitars, like floaty shoulder cannons that can also block attacks, to blades, cannons, claws, hammers, staves, clubs, and weaponized tattoos. I wish my tattoo was a weapon. Anyway, all these weapons were forged by Mentos, the god of forge.
The fresh maker?
Dentos, the fresh maker.
Yes.
And the guy who also crafted Pitt's ultimate weapons, the 3 sacred treasures.
Hidden away in 3 sealed caskets, the sacred treasures consist of Angel Land's mightiest weapons, which can only be used by the most heroic and worthy of heroes.
The mirror shield reflects projectiles. The wings of Pegasus give Pitt unrestricted flight and improved speed. And the arrow of light is the ultimate weapon of the gods that can murder basically anything.
The arrow of light is absolutely the deadliest weapon in Pitt's arsenal, and increases in power based on Pitt's own health and strength. And when all 3 treasures come together, Pitt is granted the legendary silver armor.
You tapping into my stash of booze, Wiz? That's not silver, it's gold.
Well, colors are different in heaven, I guess.
Weird. Well, Pitt's learned several abilities throughout his adventures, healing, dropping mines, and making his arrows invisible. And all of his skills came in handy. Not only did he defeat Medusa, but he's taken on alien pirates, a space kraken, and the god of death, Thanatos.
At one point when Thanatos attacked a village, he launched a large boulder which Pitt obliterated so thoroughly it was completely pulverized in midair.
Wait a minute. How are those Trojan horse Star Wars walkie thingies not tipping over?
Focus, Boomstick. Pulverization is defined as reducing an object to dust, which certainly applies here. To determine the force necessary to do so, we first need the size of that boulder. For that, we'll compare the boulder to those pillars.
Oh, here comes the math. Strap on your pocket protectors, nerds.
Thanatos, when standing near to Pitt, appears to be about 11 feet 6 inches tall. By comparing his height to the pillars, we've determined them to be 18 feet tall. By comparing that to the boulder, it's clear it has a diameter of 115 inches. To pulverize a stone this large, Pitt's strike must have outputted energy equal to nearly 1,600 pounds of TNT.
Damn, little angel kid can dish it out.
Pitt's also incredibly quick. He was able to maneuver, react, and fly from the top of these clouds to the lunar sanctum in less than 40 seconds. Despite looking like one, that's no moon. It's a space station, orbiting the Earth at a similar altitude to the International Space Station. The average distance from the ISS to the highest cloud layers is about 242 miles, meaning Pitt must have flown around 21,600 miles per hour.
That's Mark 28. Suck it, Starman.
Not only that, Pitt dodged a laser which covered this distance in a fraction of a second, most likely moving a little over 90 million miles per hour.
Oh my god, that not moon thing really is the Death Star.
With Pitt's superhuman durability, he's tanked hits from gods and
By
taken
being turned
falls
into
that
an
would turn
eggplant.
any normal man into,
An angel?
well, a dead man, yes. In his final duel with Hades, the god of the underworld, Pitt took a devastating blow that sent him plummeting at least 2,000 feet. Given Pitt's weight, the impact of that fall would be over 8 tons of force.
And he was fine! This Hades guy can cut through giant diamond spires, so a hit from him could be as powerful as nearly 30 tons of TNT.
Of course,
Damn.
while Pitt may be formidable, he's not perfect. He has been tricked into losing fights multiple times, and often relies on assistance from his godly allies.
But this kick-ass angel isn't afraid to charge headfirst into a fight, even with his wings on fire.
In the name of the goddess Palutena, defender of all that is good, those who hide in the darkness will be made to face the light.
I'm going Sora for 5. Sora for 5.
So we did this system so that we wouldn't pick the same thing, and yet here we are. This is what, like, our 3rd week in a row picking the same. I
Yeah,
feel like.
if that. No, last week I did Silver Samurai and you did Shredder.
Okay.
So
we did break it up a little.
Yeah, broke it up a little bit.
Because why?
Well, Because what do you mean why?
Did I win?
You did win.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Just highlighting that fact that when we did break it up, I won.
That's good though. I thought you forgot for a second. I'm like, anyways.
No, my Teenage Mutant Ninja loyalty paid off.
And that's what I'm going with this one for. Loyalty for Sora. Although, I mean, I played Kid Icarus as a kid. My brothers had a Nintendo. So I played the original Kid Icarus. They did a lot of math for Kid Icarus. So I felt like they're also throwing a lot of stuff out there as to like make Kid Icarus like really impressive. So you think he's gonna win. And they kind of didn't talk up too many of Sora's feats. They like did one thing with him and Hercules, and they kind of showed how strong Hercules was, and that he like. But I mean, Pitt took on Hades, so he's an actual god, and not just demigod like Hercules.
Yeah, but see, I thought that too at one point. So I was like, well, if we're just going off of that, it's Pitt. Except Sora fought Hades too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true.
So, like,
Sora fought Hades too.
They focused on Hercules, but the fact is, Sora fought and defeated Hades.
Yeah, he did. This is good call. Your logic's even better than mine. You should get extra points if you win, but you're not going to.
I agree.
You're not going to.
What?
No, sorry, you don't. Can you just change things around all willy-nilly of the rules?
We make the rules.
No. All right. These rules are
Written in a sacred text somewhere?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right. Why'd you bet Sora?
Loyalty.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that Sora is powerful. I do think with Sora, I'm assuming, although of course we haven't seen the death battle yet, that Goofy and Donald are not going to be able to participate, which will limit him.
But then Icarus can't have, or Pitt can't have Palutena.
Right. Or his other army. So yeah, I don't know. They both have a bit of a disadvantage when they're by themselves. So I kind of canceled that out in my brain. And at the end of the day, I don't know, Sora's just got the heart, right? Yeah,
and I thought like Sora was also gonna be faster with all of, like the crazy light that he was like hitting and whatnot, and like also dodging lightning. So yeah, I just felt like Sora was gonna be quicker, maybe just as strong as Pitt, but yeah.
I mean, Sora did slice through 3 buildings.
He did. Kid Icarus has that one thing that can like one shot anybody or whatever, his like little special beam cannon. But I feel like Sora could dodge it and like he can only use it once. So I mean, yes, Pitt could kill Sora, but I think so if they go with like who would win the majority of the time, I think they go with Sora.
Yahweh! Go get him, pal!
At least I get to cheer him on.
I'm glad they
What he
included him.
said!
So, whose rear am I kicking this time?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Take this! Fire!
Whoa!
Oh.
I've seen candles that are scarier than you.
Oh, I thought I made a little Mickey Mouse.
Let's take this to the next level.
Oh, did it?
I don't know if it did or not. Might have just been seeing things. Uh-oh. Come on, Sora. Uh-oh.
Whoa! You can teleport? Mind blown.
Let's see what you think of this!
Ah! Whoa!
Oh, stop in time. Sweet. He does have a lot of good magic. Uh-oh. The silver armor. That's gold.
Time to end this! You said it!
No, don't say that. Don't get cocky. Uh-oh. Oh! Sorry, Pit.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Pit.
Attaboy, Sora!
Seems so wrong, Goofy to be so happy about that.
Yeah.
Ouch! That's one way to fly too close to the Sora, son. Pit may have had the advantage in flight and experience, but he couldn't beat Sora's strength, toughness, and speed.
Pit may have dodged a
speed.
laser moving 90 million miles per hour, but Sora's reaction speed was quick enough to dodge natural lightning. A lightning bolt's return stroke, which constitutes the bright flash, moves at around 220 million miles per hour, over twice as fast as Pit's.
Yeah.
That, combined with his teleporting and time manipulation powers, meant Sora was just too quick for Pit to land very many big hits. Plus, when Sora shot that Keyblade beam to the moon, it took 1 second flat.
That's 1.28 times the speed of light, much faster than anything Pit's reacted to before. Of course, Pit did have enough weapons to keep Sora busy, but Sora's impressive and wide-ranging magical arsenal provided multiple counters for pretty much anything Pit threw at him, including superior healing techniques.
Hey, remember that building Sora cut through? Slicing it up like Swiss cheese was impressive enough, but this building was completely made of stone from top to bottom, and Sora cut through 7 at once.
These buildings may have been composed of a modest stone like granite, which has a minimum shearing strength of 14 megapascals. In comparison to Sora's height, each building was about 23 feet tall. By measuring Sora's largest slash and the distance cut through all 7 buildings, we can determine Sora's striking energy to equal, at minimum, 78 tons of TNT.
That's way more than Pit's boulder pulverizing feat. No wonder this guy beat Herc.
Speaking of which, let's compare some of the strongest beings Sora and Pit have taken hits from. The amount of energy needed for Hercules to throw that rock titan into space had to have been around 24 megatons of TNT, whereas Hades strikes were equivalent to only 30 tons at best.
So Pit had never survived anything close to Sora's strongest attacks. Just by numbers alone, Sora's strength, speed, and durability just outclassed
Sora's
Pit.
magic
And
power
the
punishes
Keyblade
while
by
Pit's powers
itself
have
had
finite
a way
use.
more impressive track record than any of Pit's weapons. You might say it was the key to this fight. And when we pit them together, one of them was bound to be a Sora loser.
The winner is
Last one's good.
Sora.
All right. So we both win. Loyalty prevailed again this week.
Yep.
Good battle. It was kind of like you said at the end there. It was kind of funny, like weird seeing Goofy cheer for Sora after he just murdered Pit.
And like, it'd be one thing to cheer for him when you defeated Pit, but like,
Yeah.
Pit is dead
Yeah.
in a puddle of blood, and our childhood character is over there going like, "Yay!" It's just, it doesn't feel good.
No, it does not. It does not. It does not sit as well as you'd like.
Yeah.
So far, the Kingdom Hearts characters that we've seen are 2-0. Sora and Mickey.
True.
If they are able to continue some death battles, I'd love to see some more Kingdom Hearts characters maybe go up against someone else. Not necessarily lose, but like other stronger characters that like have had some good win streaks as well. What'd you think of the battle?
I thought it was good. I like the location. I like the animation style for this. I love that they incorporated Donald and Goofy on the sidelines, despite Goofy cheering for bloody murder. I liked the fact that they went up into the air because, of course, like after all the stuff with Pit and the wings, your brain is looking for that just because it's been discussed. Can he or can't he fly? And what does that entail? I liked the sort of power ups that were pitted against each other, like. he does sort of that bluey green blast arrow thing, and then Sora has the white one, and like, oh god, which one's gonna be stronger?
Yeah.
And then Sora's prevails by kind of breaking it in two. So yeah, I thought it was a good battle. I have, despite being a big Nintendo fan and growing up in Nintendo, I never had played Kid Icarus, so my knowledge of him is from the journey where he does Palutena does the
Palutena's
voiceover.
guidance. Yeah,
There it is.
Yeah, in Smash Brothers.
So like that's my frame of reference.
Yeah.
Which is in part why Sora is the one I had to cheer for, because I've actually played Kingdom Hearts.
I also liked the different magic that they busted out for Sora and found different clever ways to bring it into the fight.
Yeah, agreed.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want all of our Death Battle reactions, check out the description of this video for a playlist. You'll also find a link to Patreon. You can get early ad-free access to our videos.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Death Battle Sora versus Pit, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.